All right, Ryan. All right. Thank you for being on the podcast. So, before we get started, I kind of want to ask you, what's your favorite holiday? Because everybody has their favorite holiday, and mine is actually Halloween, and that's coming up. I like ghouls, goblins, werewolves, and vampires. That's just when everyone gets the opportunity to dress up. That's just so awesome. So, Ryan, before we formally introduce you, I'm just curious, what is your favorite holiday?
I'd have to say Christmas.
Christmas? Why Christmas? What's so special about Christmas? Is it Santa Claus? Is it the gifts? Is it because why?
Ouch.
So I would say it's a combination of the gifts and the getting together. Well, I mean, obviously on a lot of holidays, right? You get together and do things. So that's kind of like inconsequential. But my favorite holiday would be Christmas, just because my family does things more for Christmas and Thanksgiving than like Halloween and Valentine's Day and stuff like that. So I would say Christmas, just because getting together with friends and family has always been like me. Family is huge to me.
Awesome. Great, man. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get started. With that said, hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I'm your host, Blockchain John, with my co-hosts, Jake Jabrelli and Cryptonaut Mike. Today we have an exclusive interview with the CEO of JUSTNFTs, Mr. Ryan Murray. Hello, Mr. Ryan. Now this is your formal introduction. Now, with that said, hopefully I didn't butcher your name. Ryan Murray, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. So with that said, let's go ahead and learn about you and what you're all about. Before we even get to what Just NFTs is, every single time that I have a first time guest on the podcast, I always like to know what they did before they got into crypto, before they heard about the word Bitcoin, before they got way far to this crypto world, right? So what did you do back in like high school, college before you even got into crypto? Paint us a picture of your history. Ryan, you there? Did we lose Ryan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I guess my mic didn't unmute. Um, I don't know if you want to ask that again or if you're just gonna like edit.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so in high school I was into computers. I worked at a local like PC repair company. Really really like just not even fun. It was just weird. But I repaired computers, did all kinds of stuff like that. It really like changed my eyes on how computers work. When you're younger and you're just like, oh, it's cool, it works. And then when you start like diving into it and you really get into it, it kind of changed my opinion on it. Unfortunately, I didn't get into tech like right away. I was always one of those kids that just didn't like school. So I kind of, had to go into working sooner than later because I didn't want to go to school and get like a technical degree or anything. So I went straight into working. I was probably one of the youngest managers for Blockbuster, shot to the past, if anybody's heard of
Wow.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
Hey.
Blockbuster
Yeah.
baby, man. All right.
So I was one of the youngest managers for Blockbuster, and then after that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do in life until a lot later. So I tried a couple different things. I went into EMT, I went into phlebotomy, I went into nursing. Because I really like helping people, which is kind of one of the reasons why I started Just NFTs, which we can talk about later. But I really like helping people and giving back to people because I feel like that's what we're missing in today's world. So
All
found
right.
out that EMTs don't make a lot of money, so I'm like, okay, let me try firefighter or nursing. Didn't really pan out because obviously nursing, there's a lot to it. Um, so I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? Still trying to figure it out. College is going by now, and I'm like, okay, I got to figure something out. So I went into tech. Or actually, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. I went into the trades. I was an operating engineer for about 5 years, using heavy equipment to, build houses and stuff like that. After that, I got into a company as the project manager for underground fiber for a local internet service provider. Started doing that, and then I really, really, really decided at that point, like, I need to really get into my passion, which is tech. So I started working for my current company, which is ZTech, becoming the IT manager and taking care of all of our infrastructure and all of that. And then kind of branched into the ZTech auctions, and from there it just took off with cryptocurrency.
Wow. Interesting. That's a pretty
So
large, a
when it
vast experience. Go ahead.
yeah, so when it says jack of all trades on my Twitter, it literally means jack of all trades.
Yeah, PC repair, but you never did software. It was just doing hardware repairment.
No, we did software too. I'm pretty well versed in a lot of softwares, obviously having to deal with, auctions and
But we're talking about the
websites
time
and
when you were working at the PC repair
oh
company.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that was mostly just hardware.
Yeah, and then you said you did EMT for a while. How was that?
Um, all right. Very long hours and very underappreciated.
Yeah, so I've heard many times over. Yeah. Mm. And then operating engineer, that is completely on the opposite scale. Like, how did that happen? Did you get
Um,
your go ahead.
you no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you get your schooling paid for to learn how to operate in heavy machinery?
Yeah, so I went into the operating engineers local 3 um as an apprentice. I went through their apprentice training program, and then just slowly worked my way up. And like I said, I think I did that for about 5 years, and then finally got offered a job doing underground fiber project management.
Huh. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. So in your life, it makes sense the transitions that you did, right? Was there anything that just kind of, maybe crypto? Maybe crypto is the one that said, "Boom, this is where it's at. This is where the tables have turned, and I'm now here." Well, actually, technically, that's what you're doing now. You're here in life, but is this the one that slapped you in the face? Like, this is the everything here. This is where it's at. Is that where we're transitioning into with crypto, or was there already something here that kind of influenced you? Like, say, for example, the PC repair company. Did that actually jumpstart your idea that you want to get into tech?
I mean, computers and tech has always been my passion, right? When I was younger, in high school and stuff, I mean, I always played video games. I'm a hardcore WoW fanatic. I might lose credibility with some people on that one, but I love WoW. I love video games. And when I was younger, I did streaming kind of before it was really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did kind of like not podcasty things, but like I mean, man, when I was growing up, like .tv was popular, right? So it was always like, your name .tv, and people would just do like live 24-hour
Sure.
streams. I actually got the idea from
Justin.tv. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, exactly, yep.
I remember
So
that.
that was what I did. And I tried to make things out of it, right? Like, tutorials and like just all the side hustle stuff when you're a kid, right? Like trying
Yeah.
to be cool. Never panned out. I'm just not a huge like face of the company person, right? Like I obviously have to be a face to some degree with my current company and JUSTNFTs and everything, but I've never been like podcasty. Like I don't know. I'm not a good host.
All
I
right.
can talk. I can talk all day,
Sounds good.
but
Sounds good. All right. So I want to know, when was the first time you heard about either Satoshi Nakamoto or Bitcoin, or your first crypto that inspired you to look further or dive deeper down the rabbit hole into crypto?
hmm, I would say I heard Bitcoin uttered out of somebody's mouth probably about 5 years ago and thought nothing of it. I was like poised for, had I even done a little bit of research, like most people, right? And said,
Right.
oh, this is going to be a thing, I could have been worth millions, but I never
Right.
did. And I regret it just like everybody else. But I would say
That's super.
honestly, huh?
That's super relatable.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Everybody.
Um, I would honestly say like I'm so much of a noob still when it comes to cryptocurrency. I honestly haven't started really following it until about the last year and a half, 2 years.
Nice. So Bitcoin was your first, and you heard it from somebody, a friend, family member, where they already invested into it, or were they just, were was this person also just learning about it, but not really in it?
No, so actually, I kind of breezed over something that I did as a job for probably a couple years. I used to be a linen delivery driver for a company called Alsco, which is a competitor of Aramark. If you guys have heard about them at all. But there was actually a customer at a customer location. So a diner that was eating food at a customer location was checking his cryptocurrency and had lost a boatload of money. Um, and was just like, he just blew up. He like literally just blew up, started screaming, and walked out of the building. And that's when I really first learned about Bitcoin.
Interesting. What was the prices then? It had to be under sub 20K, right? So we're talking
Yeah,
about
it was not
Oh, a
very
couple
much.
2016,
hundred bucks.
probably under 10K, right? Yeah, it was under
Yeah.
10K for sure. Under.
Under, that was a two-digit number back then, right?
Yeah, it was like six,
Or
seven
no, sorry,
thousand.
three-digit number. Okay.
No, well, maybe, I don't know. But
Man,
yeah, it was crazy.
maybe that guy's dancing now, man. Dancing with all them billions upon billions of dollars, right? Cool. All
Yeah,
right. So
good
with
for
that
him.
said, let's go ahead and transition over into just NFTs, because that's obviously why you're here. I want to talk about just NFTs. Obviously, I've created an account on just NFTs, so I also have my own experience of using as a customer the website and what you guys have built so far. But before we get into that, can you give us just a little insight of what just NFTs is? By the way, JUSTNFTs.io, for the people that are listening, you guys can go to the YouTube channel and see the visuals here that Ryan's presenting to us today. And by the way, Jake, when you get a chance, can you interject with the plug? All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so just NFTs. Why did I start it? And what is it? It's a service provider. It's an NFT service provider. And the ultimate goal is to provide somewhere that artists and vendors and resellers and whatever you want to classify yourself, a seller essentially, can take an NFT that they've either created or um, gone in with somebody or pre-purchased or whatever and sell it, ideally, right, and make some money off of it. And that's kind of it. I mean, we're trying to expand and grow into other things. We have, minting services that we do
Mm-hmm.
in conjunction with Ricky from Raven NFT. We have some under wraps projects that we're working on to hopefully expand and kind of bring more attention to Ravencoin as far as like its scalability and comparability to Ethereum. Obviously, there's challenges, right? Because Ethereum offers smart contracts natively, Ravencoin doesn't. So that creates a problem when creating a marketplace because it creates a manual aspect of it that not a lot of people want to deal with. Um, and that's the challenge that we're dealing with right now, is making a more automated and user-friendly marketplace.
Okay, so in regards to just NFTs, is this a hosted website? Is this a centralized website? Is this a decentralized website? Are there smart contracts on the back end? How does this all work?
It's I guess you could call it centralized. It's running off of Amazon Web Services. It's not running off IPFS or anything like that.
Okay.
It's managed and controlled by myself and a couple members of the Just NFTs LLC. And that's about it. As far as smart contracts go, there's nothing there yet. They're in the works, because obviously, again, Raven doesn't have them, so you got to do some sort of a chain hop, which is not, overly user friendly. And that's kind of it.
So as
A
of right
lot of
now, regarding just NFTs, correct me if I'm wrong, but currently you are only providing service to the Ravencoin blockchain community. Is that correct?
That is correct. Well, as far as NFT sales
No,
go, yes.
no,
Oh,
there's a few Ethereum NFTs and Namecoin NFTs on there for sure.
Well, okay. I guess let me rephrase that. Um, the purpose of it is for Ravencoin. If somebody from another chain comes over and lists stuff, great. But the payments will always be processed in Raven.
okay. Now that's going to be my next question. Why the Ravencoin blockchain? Why not something else?
Honestly, it resonated with me. When I started with ZTech and we started doing the ZTech auctions,
Are
my
we talking about?
CEO colleague.
Are we talking
Go
about
ahead.
the auctions in Braveland?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, yeah. So those are for the listeners and viewers out there. If you guys are just joining and obviously watching this, we actually have every single one of those auctions here on the C3 Media YouTube channel. You guys can check them out. It's all there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That's how you guys got connected.
As far as me and Khalid?
Yeah, is that? I'm assuming that's how you guys got connected, right?
No, I actually work for him.
Oh.
ZTech is his company, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm the IT manager for him. So I
Oh.
work directly with him, and then we kind of branched off and did this project as a separate entity.
Interesting. Interesting. So this is also Khalid's baby as well, just NFTs.
He's an interested partner in it. I originally started it all and set it all up and created it, and then kind of, he got wind of it and didn't realize it was mine, and then was like, "Oh, what's this Just NFTs thing?" And then we kind of talked about it, and we just kind of took off and ran with it.
And okay, so how long did it take you to build this website and make it functional, make it work to the point where now I just jumped into it. I created an account. It's so easy to use for anybody that's out there interested in just buying NFTs. This is an easy website to work with. How long did it take you
Um,
guys?
yeah, so I registered domain, ironically enough, on April 1st of 2021.
Oh,
Uh, Yeah, and then I started putting things together, and it was a part-time project, right? It was a pet project. So I don't really necessarily count that. But when I got serious about it was probably about mid-May, and probably by June it was functional. People were on there listing things and buying things. Synth was one of our first artists that was on there listing and supporting us from the beginning. From that point, it was probably about July. Khalid was like, "Let's do this. Let's make it a thing. Let's grow it." And then September 1st, we officially launched. And September 1st is when we strive to have it what it looks like today. Obviously, I've been continuously working on the back end and making it smoother and better and faster, better infrastructure and all of that. So where we sit today is probably about a good God knows how many tireless nights and caffeine and fueled nights.
But you know what? You did it all with good can I say attitude? Good emotion, good responses. Because it seems like this
good.
is from my viewpoint, from your guys' Discord channel, the Just NFTs Discord channel. So, by the way, anybody that's listening or watching, you guys can definitely join the do you have a link anywhere on the website there, Ryan, that they
It
can
is
join the
down on
Discord?
Yeah, down on the bottom in the footer. There's a link for it, and then in every email that you get, if you're getting bids or buying items, they're in the emails as well.
Okay, so from my experience, when I joined the Discord channel, I noticed that there was a couple. In my belief, it's always going to be user experience. Very rarely is going to be some issue on the back end. It could happen, right? And if it does, then it's going to influence a lot of people, right? You're going to get a lot of responses. You're going to have a lot of chatter. But if one person's over here saying and getting upset, well, I'm guessing it's user experience. But I've noticed that you've always, day or night, doesn't matter. You've always been there and you've always responded with a positive response instead of just I'll deal with that later. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, though no, I try to so ironically enough, technology runs our world, right? So my phone is my lifeline. If I lose my phone, I'm kind of SOL, which really sucks. But yeah, I mean that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm so responsive is, somebody pings me. It might be 4 o'clock in the afternoon their time. It might be 2 o'clock in the morning my time. If I'm awake and I see it, then I respond because I grew up in a household where, showing respect to your fellow, human, to be PC correct, right? To be, show respect to people is what I was raised to be. So by providing quality customer service and priding myself on that, that gives me that sense of like I'm showing respect to somebody because they need help and I can provide that to them.
interesting. Yeah, I like that. It's good. It's good. Do you guys, Mike and Jake, do you guys have any questions before I continue in regards to this phase here?
Nope.
All right, perfect.
Not at this time, although I would like to remind our viewers that you can always check us out on YouTube if you're not already watching us on YouTube, and that we appreciate the likes and the subs. And if you want to catch up on any of these events that are happening, you need to hit the notification bell, particularly on YouTube. But you can also find us on Discord. That's where most of this is going on, and where we can talk to people like Ryan. But if you appreciate our work, you can always donate, and we accept Raven
Yeah, sure. We'll take it, Raven.
as
Yeah.
well. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BAT. So
All right. Now back to Ryan. So you are currently in a growing phase with just NFTs, right? I believe you are looking at. There was a tweet you put out. I think it was today or yesterday that you're looking for developers. Is that correct?
That's correct. I obviously have a wide skill set, right? But I'm not a master of anything in particular. So to really grow into an open sea of Raven, if you will, we really need some people that are very, well versed in Raven blockchain and, certain, coding aspects. So yeah, we're currently looking for a couple developers to expand on some projects we're looking to doing, to make the website a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say user friendly because it's pretty user friendly already, but one-stop shop, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So you once again said you're looking for developers that primarily work on like more or less the Ravencoin code. Are you saying that specifically because you're trying to reach this particular audience, the Ravencoin community, or is just NFTs for everybody? Are you going to be expanding into other blockchains?
We don't have any intentions right now to expand in other blockchains. I think the Ravencoin community is a very welcoming community. It's a very friendly community. It's very versed with the people that are in it, and we would like to stay within that community. I think Ravencoin blockchain, its white paper itself, has a very good use case, and I'd like to see it grow and expand into something comparable to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Obviously, potentially never to those price values, right? Because Bitcoin is always going to be that vanity coin. Yes, it does have, a very large use case and it does have its perks, but Bitcoin is always going to be that number one. I don't think really any coin is going to compare to Bitcoin because they were first. They've got that notoriety. They've got that just stigma, if you will.
Interesting. Okay, so you did mention that you're in the process of working with Ricky for minting services. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so when I first launched JUSTNFTs, there wasn't a lot of people, right? So it was finding, people within the community that we could work with and kind of, grow everybody, right? Because it's all about growing the community, expanding Raven's awareness so that way more people start using it. So I started working with Ricky originally to where we would take, artists from his platform that wanted to be listed on a more eBay style auction website. So primarily in the beginning, he was, taking some of his artists, minting them like he does, and then placing them up for auction. This kind of separated a little bit because things have become more, more different, right? There's been a lot more, change within the community. There's probably about 4 or 5 marketplaces now that are popping up, and from what I'm understanding, there's probably about another 4 that are going to be available by the end of the month. So we still work well with Ricky. We still promote him. He still promotes us. We still try to not necessarily take business from each other, obviously, but it's really just become its own thing at this point.
Interesting. Are you looking for any kind of investments? Are you doing fundraising or it's just what are you trying to do in regards
Uh,
to you guys' bankroll? I guess.
yeah, so it's very much bootstrapped right now. It's really just been, what available finances I have and, time and sweat equity from the other guys and some additional resources put in from a couple other partners as far as like, some back-end developers to help with some like, infrastructure and stuff like that. But we are very much looking for, investors or donations for people that want to see just NFTs grow. Um, I think it's going to be something that can turn into something very, very big. It's just we got to get it there first.
Okay.
And
Now I was hoping you were gonna say that. Now you said it. It's official on the record. You are looking for investors. How is that gonna work? Are you gonna be making a contract? Are you gonna be doing like a token sale? What are you gonna be doing to get investors' interest to invest into just NFTs?
yeah, so that's a little complicated on its own, right? Because obviously, if you do some sort of STO or ITO or something like that, you have to get, some SEC approval and all that good stuff. So we're not really looking to do that quite yet. It's not going to go public. It's going to be very much a private held company for the time being. We're just looking for potentially someone who's just very enthusiastic about Raven and hopefully willing to invest. And that's kind of where we sit right now.
But as an investor, what's the return on investment? That's what I'm trying to look at.
Yeah, so we can discuss that when somebody is interested in it.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So when we say we discuss that, who is the potential investor going to contact? Are they going to contact you? How are they going to contact you? What's the deal on that?
We have a plan of in the next week or so of releasing an official tweet and an official page on the website where they can click on it, get some information about some numbers and kind of like
Ah,
what their palette, if you will, and then there'll be a link that they can email us and contact myself directly, and then we can kind of talk at that point.
okay, good. You're also receiving a small fee on the back end of each transaction, correct? And that those fees, from my experience, that I figured out, right? That's what I'm guessing you guys are taking about 10%, right?
Correct. Yeah, we take 10% actually right now for the remainder of this month. We're charging 0% commission fees for anybody that processes a through. And we've had overwhelming amount of support for the past
Hold
month
on,
and a
hold on,
half.
hold on. Can you repeat that again? Just go back a few sentences. You got cut off there.
Yeah. So for the rest of this month, we're doing 0% commission fees to give back to the community a little bit. We've had an overwhelming amount of support from the artists and the collectors and the buyers. So we kind of want to, make them feel appreciated, right? So we decided to cut our commission down to zero for this month. But yeah, the 10% we do collect, 9% of it goes back to us to help, kind of pay for the bills, which to be fair, 9% is not a lot of money. You're talking on a 100 Raven sale, it's nine Raven. It's
Hmm.
not a lot.
Yeah,
But 1% of it does go to currently the Ravencoin Foundation. We do have aspirations to maybe growing that volume and donating to a charity like something like breast cancer awareness or JDRF or some sort of like charitable cause to help also give back to things that need help and also grow awareness for Ravencoin.
perfect. Which I want to thank you guys, you and the team, for actually considering the Ravencoin Foundation, and donating a portion back to them, because you don't have to do that, but that's amazing that you guys are actually thinking of them and actually helping them out. And I think it just shows your guys' humbleness in the Ravencoin community, and I think that's why you guys are going to start. You guys are definitely going to grow a lot more. Just from my user experience, I love it. I like the way I can just click on things and just share the link. There it is. Boom. Get into it. Use your wallet. Oh, actually, speaking of wallets, which wallets do you recommend to do NFT exchanges? This is a big, serious question. So, Ryan, please don't mess us up. Don't confuse people, right? Because that is one of the biggest questions that I see all the time when it comes to NFTs. People are like, I can't see my NFT. What's going on? Well, you probably sent it to a burnt wallet. Who knows, right? So, which wallet do you recommend that a newbie gets, or even somebody that has a crypto experience? Which is a good high quality wallet to use?
Um, so for newbie, I would strongly suggest, again, this is not any sort of official advice, right? Do your own research, take it with a grain of salt, all those legalities that you got to kind of add nowadays. I would suggest Mango Farms. Um, their wallet is amazing. It has some flaws, right? Like I don't I think they're working on showing history. That's a huge thing for me. I'm a numbers guy, right? So being able to see my transaction history is big for me. I know you can kind of, dive into the blockchain and learn that yourself, right? And see your history through your wallet's addresses. That's not user friendly. So that would not be a very good newbie thing. But as far as like being able to create assets and click buttons and it'd be very simplistic of like, here's your address, here's your send address, here's your receive address, here's a QR code. You created the asset, all of that great stuff that makes, people that aren't versed in blockchain or even technology, I would strongly suggest them. As far as like a more experienced wallet, I use the QT wallet, the Ravencoin QT wallet. It's great. It has its flaws, but it works well,
That's what I use.
just like
Yeah.
everything else.
Now, in regards to the mango,
Okay.
the mango, was that Mike? Did you have a question? No. Okay. In regards to the mango wallet, now I forgot. I felt like somebody was going to say something. In regards to the mango wallet, you obviously can mint NFTs directly through their platform. My question is, we've had Doug on the podcast. What was it? The beginning of the year, you guys? You guys remember when was the last time we had Doug and Tron on the podcast? It was
Definitely earlier in the year.
Yeah, it was
Right.
way earlier in the year.
Mhm.
And the good thing about having Doug on the podcast is that he gave us a lot of transparency of what's going on with Mango Farms, which is great. My question is, and I don't remember the answer. Maybe one of you guys, Mike or Jake, can answer this. Is Mango Farms just a website? Is it browser based, or am I actually downloading the entire QT that's a fork of the Ravencoin blockchain?
No, so it is a website, which is what I like about it. The fact that I don't have to actually, ironically enough, I crashed my QT wallet on my mobile phone, so I can't actually load it because I mined into it. So food for thought, those that mine, don't mine into a mobile wallet. But I like the fact that there is no blockchain you have to download.
Love
It's
it.
extremely mobile and user friendly. So if you're out and about in Hawaii or Manila or doesn't matter where, if you're not at your laptop, you're not at your computer, you're not at your work computer, whatever it is, um, log in real quick with the username and password and see your money that's there, see your assets that there, make a transfer for whatever needs to be done, and you're done. That's it. There's nothing else that needs to be done after that.
Awesome, love it. All right, I want you, Mike, Jake. Any more questions? I'm gonna move on to the next step, next phase.
Yeah,
Go right ahead.
I got a question about features. Are you guys working on anything for asset tracking on the website?
Yes, that is in the roadmap. There's a couple other features that are in the roadmap that we're not going to disclose right now for just the overall growth of the website without some competition getting a hold of that. But yes,
Cool.
we're working on some good features. I think if we can get maybe an investor or we can kind of ramp up the volume that's coming through the website to be a little bit more a little bit more Raven coming in, we can kind of, branch into some projects if we can find a couple good developers that really, can understand and keep the blockchain secure. Because
Okay.
obviously, right, you don't want to go build something and then it not be secure, because the whole point of the blockchain is to provide that extra layer of security.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about just NFTs is the only real security issue that can come from is humans. It's not like a code error, so to speak, because you guys aren't really controlling the asset. You guys don't have the asset. You're just finding or you're just marketing the asset and then putting the buyer and seller together. It's like
Yeah.
OpenSea, you got to be a little more worried
I like that.
phishing sites and stuff like that.
I
So
personally do
not
like that.
having that much reliance. Yeah, I mean they both got their ups and downs.
Yeah, we're trying to ultimately we would like to be more automated, right? Like, to the obviously I mean great if we could make it to the level of OpenSea, that would be fantastic, right? OpenSea launched in the first month, they did like $1 billion in sales. Like that's amazing. Um, do I see us happening to be like that? Cool, maybe. I'm just here to create a marketplace to find people to like you said to sell and find the people. As far as the human error aspect of it, there can be very much so some of that. It's very manual process right now, and it's kind of time consuming. So if we can automate some of that in the future, that would be great. And that's kind of what we're striving for.
So the devs you're looking to hire, what languages do you prefer experience in?
Um, PHP, Laravel, CSS, whatever the Ravencoin blockchain is specifically written in. I'm not as well versed in the blockchain
C++.
itself, so is it C++?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
And then that's kind of it. It's a website, right? So it's basic web language.
So how many sellers do you currently have, or about how
Uh,
many?
so we have, if you look at our screen over here, we have a total of 133 registered sellers.
Nice.
And then we have somewhere up of, I think when I looked at it earlier today, about 350-ish overall users in a less than a month and a half.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. All right, Jake, did you have a question? You unmuted there, so I wasn't sure if you had something.
No, it's been pleasant listening to you guys talk about this in general. I was actually exploring JUSTNFTs.io myself while listening to Ryan talk about it.
Awesome. Okay, so
Get yourself a smoker degen or degen
Yeah.
smoker.
Excuse me, hello. Buy my book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about the book?
All right, Ryan, do us a favor. If you can, just show us the website for the viewers out there. For the listeners, obviously, head over to YouTube and you guys can see what's going on here. Or just go to JUSTNFTs.io. That's JUSTNFTS.io. All right, or yeah, go to the website and you can join on Discord. You also have a Twitter. How many links do you have down there?
Down on the bottom we have 4. The Discord, there's the donate button, the TOS, which I guess really doesn't matter as a link, and then the follow for Twitter.
Cool. All right, show us around the website. This is your baby. Show us what you got.
Yeah. So we have the basic homepage. We try to attribute some of the artists of the month. Right now, Degen Smoker Club's killing it with the sales. They're just the generative art. They're one of the first ones that did it on the Ravencoin blockchain, so it's really taken off. People are just like insane over them. I'm on their Discord. I don't know the link. I don't know if I can provide that, but I can if that's something you guys are interested in. But they're insane, dude. Their community is pretty good too, and they're just like they're chomping at the bit. Somebody sent a screenshot earlier of their alarms. They literally put alarms in their phone to let them know when the drops were happening for the Degen Smoker Clubs, to where they could buy all of the smoker heads. So they're cool. Off topic a little bit.
That's cool.
So we try to show like an artist of the month or two to just kind of give them their props, right? Because they're supporting us, so we want to support them. We're all about, again, growing the community.
Mine's mine. I see mine right there. Mine's invisible, but you just need to work on the transparency. Make it a more solid color so you guys can see mine right there. But I'm there.
Yeah. Then we have featured auctions. Those are kind of just random. If somebody's in the back end, we just kind of put a star next to it, and it shows up and just kind of filters through them. We have some swag up there that we're trying to get rolling. Some stickers, some T-shirts.
How about this? In regards to your swag, it is Halloween, man. It's trick or treat. Give out some treats, buddy. Are you gonna give out some satoshis, some ravens? You're gonna give out some swag to any of the viewers, listeners, or anybody in your community? Are you doing any kind of giveaways here? It's Halloween. Come on, share the spirit.
We've done a few. We actually at the 500 mark, we gave away 500 Raven to a couple different followers on Twitter. Let me paraphrase that. At the 500 mark, we gave away about 2,000 Raven to a handful of people, and then at the 1,000 follower mark, we gave about another 3,000 Raven away to a couple people. We could do some stickers. I don't know. One of you guys can come up with an idea by the end of the podcast of something that might entice people. We could probably give some stickers away for it. Maybe a shirt or so.
Right.
But yeah, further down the website, you got some more featured artists. These are just some people that we want to give props to. Some information on kind of how to start it, and then some of our affiliates. That's kind of the homepage. It gets pretty simple from there. You got your marketplace. You can go to your auctions or your buy nows. Your auctions and bid. Each artist or seller uploads their auction or buy now and creates it and puts the information they want. This is completely up to them. So you'll see some that are just the name and their price and nothing here, which is not really the best for them, I think, because you want to be able to tell people why they want to buy it. But that's to each their own. There's some other stuff involved in it. There's a watch list where you can see on the back end when you're logged in all of your things you're watching. You can report items if something's obscene, I guess.
Yeah, inappropriate.
We're not really trying to monitor anybody. The marketplace is for the community, right? It's meant to be for people to sell what they feel is relevant, is art to them, or just something of importance. So far, we haven't really had any issue with people kind of, violating common sense, which is great. Um, we haven't really had to step in. And then you can see the bid history. You can get review information if somebody's left information on the reviews. You can kind of see who the artist is. You can click on their specific link to go to their storefront. More products available by them, and then the ability to message them directly is kind of the page itself, right? The buy now and the auction page. They're very similar ones. Just an auction one's buy it right now. And then we actually had an issue with the buy now page. It was very cumbersome at one point. It was loading over. You can see right now it's got 1,200 different items that people can filter through. It was loading all 1,200 items. So growing pains, right? Like we didn't think in the beginning, like, oh, we need to paginate the page because people are gonna just add things, right? Yeah, when it hit the like 500 mark, the website was like super slow, and we're like, what the heck? And then we started thinking like, oh, let's put it into faster, infrastructure, and it's like, oh, that fixed it. Oh, well, that was only because there was more CPU available, right? And then we hit the 800 mark, and we're like, what is going on? So growing pains, just the perks of running something.
This is awesome.
But yeah, so same thing with the buy now page. You can just, say you wanted to buy using Smoker 685, click on it, add to cart. And then you can see it's over here in the cart. Well, I have something in my cart, so let me fix that real quick. Add to cart, and then now you can buy it. You just go through the cart process, check out. I don't know if you guys really want me to go through all that.
It's sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so go through the cart process. You just have some notifications here just to keep people all on the same level, to keep transparency there. Obviously all sales are final. With the Dejan Smoker Heads and the Royal Bears, and who else is doing like the generative art now? I think there's one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. It's very competitive, and there's been some people that have not fully understood the process of when it's not purchased, it's not purchased. So if somebody gets to it before you when you're checking out, kind of is what it is, right? I don't want to sound callous or anything, but it's kind of like if you go to Best Buy right now, right, and you wanted to grab a 50-inch TV. If somebody else grabbed that TV before you, that's their TV. It's kind of the same principle with our checkout process. It's as fair as possible.
The interesting thing about this particular transaction is that there can literally in this process you can have three buyers, right? All three buyers can send the 1,500 to this wallet. You don't have any control over that. These are just customers that are going to send to this address, to this wallet, and technically that wallet holder can keep all of that and technically still not release the NFT, right?
No. So well, yes and no. That is correct in the sense of there's if you and Jake and Mike all wanted to buy this specific item right now, right? You're all on the same screen that I'm looking at right now. Yes, you would send it to that Raven wallet address right there, the total of 400, and it's there. And then at that point, you take your transaction ID, your hash ID that your wallets can give you, and you paste it, there for us to be able to verify that on the back end that transaction lines up with you, not somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That does create the complexity of quote unquote multi buys or dual purchases. If it happens, it goes to the first person that processed the transaction, and we send the Raven back to the others. The wallet.
So my question is, say for example, as things become more pricey, right? Obviously, let's say for example a 50,000 Ravencoin item, NFT,
There's a 1 million
physical,
on there all right now.
or
1 million Raven.
Okay, say for example this sells and we all do that. Are you going to pay us this 1 million back if we're not the number one to buy this item, or is the wallet holder paying us back? How does that work? What's the arrangement there?
We are the wallet holder. So that address that you see right there in that QR code, that is our wallet. So the money goes to us. The seller will be notified. In the back end, they'll see a note and an email that says that an item's been sold. We'll put the Raven wallet address on the the buyer Raven wallet address for them to transfer to, and they'll give us a transaction ID once we've seen that it's been verified. If we have to take a step further and verify, so for newer sellers, will verify with the buyer that they received it. Once it's been confirmed that the buyer has received the item, we release the commission to the seller.
Okay.
So the seller does not get any money until they've sent the NFT.
So that hasn't been my experience with the books. So as a seller on the website, my experience has not been this. My experience has been every single customer has always deposited the funds into my wallet prior to me releasing the NFTs. Heck, it sits in my wallet. I look at it, it's like, okay, it's there. When I'll get around to it when I get around to it, and I'll send. Well, obviously within the 24 hours, I'll send it out. But I've never had any Ravencoin held.
That is me sending the money to you.
Right.
Yeah.
But why are
So-
you sending it to the seller if the seller has not released the NFT?
I've worked with people before, so like for example, I'll send him his money before the NFT is transferred because I know he's gonna send the NFT.
Oh, okay. So you're just doing it for me.
Right, I do it for the people that I trust.
Okay. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
But the general process is, and it was somebody that we haven't worked with before, especially on a high value item, right? If it's sub 100, sub 1,000 Raven, and one of us makes a mistake, we'll cover that regardless, right? We'll always make it right. But for obviously is something that's extremely high value, yeah, we would never just blatantly transfer that, even if we worked with somebody before, because at that point it's like, oh, 1 million Raven, I can disappear with that.
Yeah.
So we'd never do that. But yeah, the general, it's still kind of a growing process. We'd hope to eventually automate it a little bit more and have to kind of take away that waiting factor.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of manual stress on you specifically doing that transaction there. Ugh. I can only imagine how many customers come through and you have to deal with it all. Oh man.
It's actually not that bad. The manual part of it is, but as far as people getting frustrated and emailing me and everything like that, like where's my stuff? It's really not that bad. You'd be surprised when you're transparent with people and you kind of explain the process of how understanding and everything people are.
Well, it's good that you explained the process here. I like this. This is great. All right. Anything else you want to show us here?
We've got a services tab, which kind of talks about some of the services we offer. We just released a partnership and royalties program. The royalties program is basically an artist has the ability to sign up for our royalties just on our platform. If it's sold somewhere else, obviously we have no control over that. But if an artist is registered with us as a royalty receiver, then anytime somebody resells an item, we'll take a percentage of that and give it back to the artist. We have a partnership program that we're kind of looking at doing to where people can, kind of get back by being involved. So we'll start kind of like YouTube's partnership program, just not as cool and not as much money. Because we obviously don't have the level of budget that YouTube does. But you can sign up for that and get, based off of your sales, a percentage of Raven back.
Interesting. Are you in the team actually mining Ravencoin to actually have some kind of cushioning, some financial cushioning, just in case things go south?
Yeah, so the commission collection is purposed for that, right? To be able to have a cushion for things like that. Also to continue expanding and building. I myself mine Raven for my personal gain. I've mined Raven for a while. I also have a rather large, Raven nest egg that could be used, but it's all bootstrap. It's all just what we have available, and so far it's working.
Okay, let me ask you, is there going to be issues anytime in the future? I shouldn't say it like that. I guess my only concern here, everything's great. I'm looking at this. I've used it. I've done trades as a seller. I feel very confident with the website. My concern is that what if it gets shut down tomorrow, right? It's a centralized website. You can get hit by DDoS attacks, right? And it could either be temporary or permanently. Like what's your guys' solution to that? Are you guys going to go black, take people's money, and just go, or what's the deal here? I need a little more transparency in you guys' thinking of what's going on with your guys' website here.
Yeah, so we have aspects in play. Obviously, nothing's ever perfect, right? Like, I mean, look at Facebook. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and I think about a week and a half ago, they were down for a good day from somebody, nuking the DNS and taking over their website and everything and shutting it down. So nobody's perfect, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of money and infrastructure you have. If somebody's, hell bent on doing something, they will and they can. Um, so for the purpose of that, we have things in play, right? We have DDoS protection, we have proxy protection, we have redundant servers and redundant databases and redundant backups. It takes a snapshot of the site every hour, so we have backups, and we can roll out a new server within minutes of a snapshot, right?
That's
So if
great.
it did go down, it would be worst case scenario, maybe an hour hard down, just to migrate
What
a
of the
database.
sorry to interrupt there, Ryan, but what of the you remember when Hotbit was killed, the
I'm not.
exchange?
No,
Okay,
I'm
so
not familiar.
Hotbit mandates that every user have two-factor.
Hmm.
So when they were invaded, basically hacked, the hackers realized they couldn't get any of the coin out of Hotbit. Hotbit's a pretty large exchange. I wouldn't obviously can't compare it to Binance or Coinbase, but they're pretty big. Um, but the hackers got in and literally just destroyed their servers and just deleted every single thing they had, except for of course the backups. And Hotbit, it took them a while to rebuild. About a week, it's almost 2 weeks to rebuild their entire um, network and everything they had set up. But they did, and they came back with nothing missing. That's actually rather impressive as far as it goes for an exchange to recover, because I mean we all know what happened to Mt. Gox, and maybe I don't all know, but I mean if you know enough about it, Mt. Gox was the first one to get destroyed. But the reason I bring this up is there a protection for the customers if someone gets into the network and starts stealing or trying to?
I mean, there's nothing to steal. It's just a website, right? We don't have anything. There's no integrated wallet. There's nothing of that, right? So if you got into the back end of the website or you got into the server, what are you going to take? You're going to take a picture of an NFT. I mean,
Good.
it's all. There's
Right.
nothing to steal.
It's the customers that have, or the clients themselves have their own wallets and they're not connecting it to your site, and then they hold their own NFTs. You're just showing pictures of them. So the really only thing that could be stolen is your guys' wallet.
Right, yeah, if for whatever reason somehow somebody got our 12 words and was able to duplicate that, then yes, that is the only thing that could be stolen.
Okay. Yeah, that's the. I'm just trying to get you to make that point. That's the key. There's not anything on the site other than somebody else crashing the site and taking all the pictures down. You're like, well, we took a snapshot an hour, 52 minutes ago. We'll just put it back up.
Right.
Do you
And
have
honestly, there's, like I said, there's redundant servers, so even if one was to crash right now, you're gonna fail over to the other one and it would be seamless. You'd have to take down a couple redundant servers before even. And I hate saying this, right? Because then it's like, oh, challenge accepted. But I'm just being real, right? Like I'm trying to reaffirm to people, right, that there is infrastructure in play, but take it with a grain of salt of like we're a small 4-person company, right? So like if somebody's gonna take us down, they're gonna take us down. So bear with us. We'll bring it back up. We're not trying to just disappear and hide tail, right? We'll do everything we can to come back up.
Yep. No, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. Basically, I was
awesome?
trying to set anyone's listening's mind at ease that nothing is being stored on this website except photographs or images, JPEGs or whatever you guys are using of the NFTs themselves, or images that represent the content that's being sold.
Right.
So, as a word of caution to anybody that's using the website, make sure you're using the proper website. And if the website is cloned for whatever reason and it actually says enter your private keys here, do not, again, capitalize, red letters, underline, everything, make it bright lights. Do not enter your private keys here.
Yes,
Never.
do not. We will never ever ask you for your 12 words.
Thank you.
Ever.
Thank you. So when I typed in my private keys, I think I messed up.
Ooh. Ooh. Did it have the purple logo or did it have the other purple logo?
What? No, I'm just joking. I would never do that. I would never do that. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. All right. Anything else on the website before we wrap it up? Yep. Yeah.
No, I encourage people that are listening to go take a look at it, whether you're truly interested in selling NFTs or not. Just to kind of see what the possibilities are as far as some of the NFTs people have put up there. I know some people have put generative art, some people have put transitional, like synth is great for making these interactive transitional like NFTs, like a Digimon where it no, not a Digimon. I guess it's a Digimon where it like hatches 2, 3, 4 days later, a week later. Like the ingenuity and innovation and creativity of all of these artists is just amazing. Like just to sit through it and go through the website when I have the time and see some of the stuff that people have created, it just blows my mind.
Awesome, Jake. Stand by for the plug. All right. Actually, Ryan, can you did mention that you are able to send me a message as a customer, right? I have not to this date had anybody send me a message. I'm curious. Can you search there for me? I guess or how would that work? Can you search for me and send me a message? Because I've never had that happen. So I just want to see what it looks like on my end when I receive it.
Yeah, one sec. What's your vendor name?
It should be Blockchain John.
J Media.
Oh yeah, Moonjay Media. That's right. Yeah, hello. That's fine.
I just sent you one too.
Oh, okay. Great. There it is.
So you should get an email.
Perfect. Looking at my watch. No email yet. Stand by for the email. That's fine. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. There is my book. It's on the screen. Buy my book at JUSTNFTs.io. Thank you, Ryan Murray, CEO of JustNFTs, for being on the podcast. He is the nephew of Bill Murray, so make sure you definitely give him praise, right? No? It wasn't funny? Ha ha ha. LOL. JK, JK. All right, Jake, Mike. Actually, Jake, give us the plug, please.
Yeah, so thanks to everyone for watching. Remember, if you appreciate our content, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get our updates every Wednesday and Sunday. And then you can always come back for the Crypto Chill and Chat every other Sunday. And of course, these interviews with our wonderful guests like Ryan every Thursday until the end of the year. If you like to support the platform, please donate via Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, or BAT, Basic Attention Token, and you can always get us on Discord. So come visit us on Discord. Back to you, John.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ryan, for being on the podcast. Until next time, stack sats and hodl. Adios.